Why, hello there, survivors. How you doing? Yet another Zombie Survivors has released a 0.5 update. Firewalk with Me is finally here. We are getting a new survivor, which is Pyro. Once a firefighter, he found himself in a somewhat unhealthy relationship with burning flames. Though unpredictable and impulsive, his true nature is that of a kind soul who will walk through an inferno to help his comrades. Pyro is a specialist character offering both melee and ranged damage options. Pretty nice. Focusing primarily on fire damage, he can be incredibly resilient and has his tolerance for pain which has allowed him to not only survive the fiery hells, but also allowed the entire team to gain strength as they lose health. Ooh, so you can actually be a little bit of a support as a Pyro. I'm digging that. As he is tied to an update that introduces elemental damage mechanics, he not only excels at dealing this type of damage, but also boosts all elemental damage dealt by the rest of his squad, which means things like hologram for Ghost, working out pretty good, but also almost every single special ability by the engineer will get amplified with Pyro. So what I'm thinking is Pyro, engineer, and then probably either Ghost or even medic. You could, now it depends on if they consider explosions or explosives to be elemental, because technically it is a bit of like fire damage, is combustion, right? So I'm not sure how they're considering that, because then otherwise you could throw in the tank, and the tank would actually get boosted by the Pyro as well. So I'm intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued. Also, we've tweaked all the stats for every single one of them, so the higher the number you get, the better the outcome. Say goodbye to the lower the statistic is, the better. We've also tweaked the armor stat, which had a bit of a wonky implementation. In addition to the stat tweaks, we've also added brand new ones from the previously missing critical chance and damage to the fan favorite and much requested ability, area and duration. You will be seeing now 4 additional damage modifiers tied to each of the game's elements: fire, ice, electric, and chemical. Which, by the way, actually now thinking about it, there is one ability for the Huntress as well, where you can either do ice arrow or fire arrow. So that would be amplified too if you are lucky enough with the RNG to be able to pick that ability. So that's very cool. There are also passive and minor level ups, changes to UI, new original soundtrack as well. So that's very cool. And you can check out the menu music here on YouTube. So you can check out, if you look for Yet Another Zombie Survivors on YouTube, you can check out the music. You can also listen to it here via Steam. But yeah, this is all the stuff. New playable survivor. Enemies now drop a new power-up, which is military training. Collecting 4 of these grants a choice of random per run passive stat improvements. That's pretty interesting. Again, there are several new mechanics, but also visually reworked mechanics. So it's going to be a bit of adjusting to that, because you get so used to it after a while. You know, you start getting a flow with these games where it's like, hey, this is where I click and this is what I do. But now it's like, wait a minute, let me read this for a second. But that's never a bad thing at all. Stat reworks. We're seeing armor, percentage damage reduction, ability and weapon cooldown reduction. We are seeing new stats: ability duration, ability area, ability critical chance, and ability critical damage. 17 new items. 18 new achievements. Completely new original soundtrack, new sound effects, and improvements to existing ones. We are seeing a UI and UX rework and quality of life tweaks. Items now show their maximum stack amounts. Active ability effects are now displayed above the survivor's in-game position. Damage numbers are now also colored to show what damage type, so you know if it's chemical, is it electric, is it fire, etc. New level up description system. New accessibility option, which is the HUD transparency. New accessibility option, arachnophobia mode. Nice, especially for the second map. Very helpful. Weapon volume option added to sound settings. Toggle auto fire. Improved default controller binding. Large numbers now show spaces as separators. SWAT's pistol weapon changed from an unspecified handgun to a Desert Eagle. Cool. So, again, just adding on to the lore, especially for those people who really love weapons and stuff. Weapon fire rate renamed to weapon attack speed. Weapon reload speed renamed to weapon cooldown reduction. Team level now to account level. Fair enough. Issues and bug fixes, item changes as well. So some new items have been added, such as the Detective's Pipe and Icon of Cinder, as well as Icon of Stillness, a lot of other icons, Special Snowflake, Jacob's Ladder, Plague's Visage, etc. Armor stat values of multiple items were adjusted for the stat update. Items modified to offer an extended or more interesting stat variations: axe, wrench, bolts and nuts, compass, duct tape, etc. Chocolate box now increases armor. Medkit also instantly restores 25% health. Health potion now instantly restores 100% health. Congratulations letter now has a new effect, increases movement speed stat by 50% for 5 seconds. Coffee cup now has a new effect, defeating a boss increases the ability cooldown reduction and ability duration. Barrel roll, power glove, and T-pose reworks. They offer different bonuses than invincibility frames. Kind of nice, to be honest. Like, I don't mind having the ability to dodge. If you have one that has a few iframes after getting hit, that's totally fine, but you don't need a ton of them. Apple now has a new effect. For each 200 points of maximum HP, increases health regen by 1 per second. Suspicious pen drive, self-care, pills, teddy bear, fan-favored annoying trumpet reintroduced with a new effect. When you get hit, you have a 25% chance to create an explosion around the survivors. That's pretty dope. Plus, pushing enemies back. Potato now has 1 stack from 3, and its effect is boosted to 50% from 15 per stack. There were some balance changes, but then also, well, what's next? A new map is coming. There's going to be a skill tree rework. I appreciate that. Item pool customization. There's a lot of items in the game, and we couldn't help but add more. But as mentioned, we will definitely be adding a way for players to customize their item pools between runs. We think that this will both increase the fun of the game and give you more control over how you're able to build your squad, which is fantastic. The more customization, to an extent, the better, because you're going to get people trying to do different builds and wanting to test things out, which means staying in the game for longer, getting, more hours in to try to test things out and have fun with it. Let's see, we have optimization improvements, we have elite enemies, we have synergies, lots of other things coming along the way as well. So you can actually follow the roadmap here on this Trello.com website. Yet another Zombie Survivors roadmap. And then from there, you can also follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, join their official Discord, which I am a part of. Highly recommend. It's a cool place to be. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the 0.5 update and check out this Pyro, shall we? You need to get 1 million damage, 1 million elemental damage in order to unlock the Pyro. So what I did is I just ran through as engineer. And then I also included Ghost with hologram because it explodes into electrical damage. So that, with all the stuff from engineer, especially using EMP and using the, any of his weapons like Tesla and stuff like that, his shield, all those are giving off elemental damage. And I just threw in the medic just to keep him alive. And that was about it. Now this UI is all different, which I like. This is actually a lot cleaner. This is much nicer because you can see the point in which you're at for selection. I picked my character, I picked my map, what kind of gameplay, and then start. We didn't have that before, so this is really nice. Okay, so the Pyro starts off with an axe. But he has some good range, though. Look at that. And it's 360 around him, too. It's a good couple feet around him. So this would be actually the second melee character in the game, the first being Ghost, who has a katana. Alright, so with this, no pain, no gain. Pain tolerance allows you to shape your suffering into strengths, improving your stats the less health you have. So you basically kind of work off of a berserk concept, where the less health you have, your movement speed's increased by 30%, weapon cooldown reduction by 30%, your elemental damage increases by 40%. So in some respects, it actually behooves you to take some damage. We can also upgrade our fire axe. Now, what this axe will turn into, I'm really intrigued, because as you fully upgrade a tier of a specific weapon or skill, or, well, I should say not for a skill, but for a weapon, it does change the weapon type. So for instance, with SWAT, the character, he'll start off with a pistol, now a Desert Eagle, but it will go into an SMG, and then it could go into a sniper rifle or an AR. So Fire Axe, where is this going to go? We can also have Molotov Cocktail. Throw a makeshift grenade that ignites an area, dealing damage over time to any enemies unfortunate enough to enter. That's 100 damage for 5 seconds with a 25-second cooldown. Not too bad. 1 to the military training, which is new. Now 2. Liking the music. Because the music is all new. We're starting to get a bit more zombies now. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what the next tier is for Fire Axe. It is Blowtorch. Damn, a fun little tool for melting metal objects in the event of an apocalypse. Zombie flesh. Damage per second, 150. Now that's pretty damn solid. Magazine size, 3 seconds. So basically the flame should last for 3 seconds, and then a reload time of 2 seconds. So a total of 5 seconds for an attack, and then to get to the next attack. Interesting. All right. Oh, that's got some reach to it, though. Oh, wow. Nice. A lot more than I was expecting. Here we go. We've got full military training for the first round. And so now we can do evasive maneuvers, dodge chance. So this is like small little increases to our current skills for this character. So each character has their own sort of setup of skills. And then, of course, as we get items, those change that. But then also this military training. So we can increase our movement speed, our health regeneration, life steal chance, and dodge chance. Let's do dodge chance. So with this, let's go ahead and get Molotov Cocktail now. Get some more coverage, some more area of effect. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's some nice coverage. I definitely like that. And if we want to upgrade it to the second level here, it is increasing the damage by 100 and adding 5 seconds to the duration. Nice. Nice. So if Blowtorch doesn't instantly kill them, they'll burn and keep walking. They're still taking damage. Good to know. So for bigger enemies, they'll burn over time. So here we go. We can do camping set, weapon damage increase when standing still. Otherwise, we could do weapon damage increase, weapon critical chance, ability damage, those -10. I feel like some of these also got negative effects too that weren't there before, which is good for balance sake. All right, let's go ahead and do engineer. That way we can give the elemental bonus to the engineer from the Pyro, which is pretty awesome. That sounds like a terrible death, by the way. Being set on fire and then electrocuted? Gah. Feels bad, man. Alright, so we have Nuts and Bolts, which we've had in the game before. I believe Ring of Power is new. Axe we've had. Jewel of Life, I think, is new. So Nuts and Bolts, ability critical damage increased by 15%, but the weapon critical damage decreased by 5%. When your HP reaches 0, revives you with 50% health points, after which it breaks, becoming Jewel of Death, which decreases your max HP by 50%. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh. Icon of Tempest, electric damage modifier 20%. It only impacts the engineer, but that's pretty much all of his stuff. Let's do it. We're just a bunch of walking cannons almost. More damage, more damage. SOS, please someone help me. Alright, EMP grenade. Not really worried about her handgun right now. I just want her to be an actual support. So we have health regeneration, 5 per second. Let's do stim pack. I want that train in. Oh shit, we're already getting a charger. Oh damn, okay. Hi. A legendary? Nice. So now we have, interesting, we have different levels to the little military trainings that we get. I mean, the military training is new, but like, you know, actually getting sort of an increase to our stats, there are different rarities to them, which is really interesting. I like that. It actually kind of reminds me of Soulstone Survivors, which I love that game as well. Most of their training was how to stand in a triangle at all times. You know, I just love the fact, though, that we have this sort of bullet hell game, this survivors game, where it's a team, and you build up the team rather than one person. Like, I really dig that, actually. It's a nice change of pace from all the other ones. So it's really interesting about how you can do builds in this game. You could pick what abilities you want your characters to be able to do and how strong they are. You can pick how strong their weapons are and what weapon you want to upgrade to, like what the next tier up will look like for you, which is really interesting. On top of that, you could pick up items that will change your overall stats, though not always just for the positive, sometimes other stats for the negative, just to kind of balance things out. Like you see here, money modifier 10%, but XP modifier minus 2%. But what's nice, though, is that you still get these items, which are really interesting. And then from there, you get these little temporary boosts. You might see little white icons that are around. If you pick those up, they can do different things temporarily, like increase your armor, increase your attack rate, your rate of attack, among many other things. That's really neat. And then from there, you get sort of permanent boosts as well through military training. So a lot of different things to think about and to play with, but honestly, it even though I am familiar with it, it doesn't feel overwhelming. It's just getting used to the items, like understanding them and going, okay, cool, and moving forward, you know. But in that sense, you just need to know the characters because you know how to build them. So give time to the characters, give time to the game of just running around killing shit. And realizing what works for you, what their weaknesses and strengths are, and, you know, based on how you want to play. And it builds up from there. It really is not super complicated. And luckily with this new UI, it's made it a lot easier so you can really see how things are impacted, right? You can see all of your main core stats on the right, and then what each item will do to it. So it'll be highlighted in yellow. Like, it makes it very simple, which I love. This new update is great so far. I really appreciate it. Ability area, ability. Yeah, oh no, this is totally fine. I'm down for doing this because I'm not really concerned about money. Money goes into your account skills because there's also that. Your account skills, which impact things like magnetism, so how far away you could be from experience gems before they come to you to pick them up. Also, things like how much armor you start with at the top of the game, how much movement speed you start out with at the top of the game. So there's all that too, but it's very similar in vein to Vampire Survivors. So if you played that game and some of the other ones like Soulstone Survivors and stuff, there is a certain framework. They present it differently in a way, in their own way, I should say, which is great, and I love every single one of them. Plague's Visage, chemical damage modifier, but ruins electric damage. Takes away 25% of that. Opening an item chest creates an explosion around the survivors, pushing enemies back. That's not bad. That's how pen drive was changed, by the way, which is cool. Because I think before it had, like, life leech attached to it somehow or something like that. Frying pan, healing bonuses 5%. Fire damage modifier 5%. Hell yeah, let's go. As we are the Pyro as the leader, might as well. Oh, that explosion. Nice. Thank you for that. Oh yeah, right now it's so clear too, like what ability you're getting hit with, and both from your team and not from your team. Like, I really like what they've done with this game. As long as you're paying attention, you can see it, you know? The developer's doing everything they can to make sure that you can understand the game, which is great. Energy shield, yes. Yeah, I will say, probably when the game first started, my favorite character was the engineer, and second was probably SWAT. Then, of course, Medic came out, and then Ghost, and I appreciate Medic for sure. I think they're very, very good, so I mean, they're up there too. I don't mind Tank. I think their higher up weapons are really fun, but otherwise Tank is like, eh. If I have them, cool. If I don't, that's fine too. I think Ghost is cool too, especially when I first unlocked Ghost. I was definitely playing him a lot. I'm still falling back to the engineer though. I see so much versatility in the engineer, and I'll be really intrigued now with Pyro how this will change. But I just need more time with Pyro to get a sense of it. Yeah, as you see too, all XP starts off as a gold gem. If you see a blue gem or a red gem, those give you more experience. So as you're going through, you're picking your skills, you know, you're getting those temporary buffs, which are the little white icons. You're getting now military training, which are those yellow icons, which permanently change your stats. You're also getting those gems, which will then increase your level, and thus what you will then be able to level up. God, I love Energy Shield. That's very satisfying. And it's fun, too, because you could be constantly doing damage to an enemy, especially like one of the bosses, and not really have to worry too much, you know? Like, am I going to end up, you know, because you're auto-targeting, you know, will my target change, or will I be constantly doing damage to that enemy that I want to focus in on? And with the Energy Shield ability, you can do that, because it's just a bubble. So as long as you keep the bubble on them, you're good to go. Because you will notice when you play enough, there is a little bit of a buffer for hit registration. So for instance, with your melee attacks or with zombie melee attacks, your character does not have to directly collide visually with the other character or vice versa to take damage. There is like a little bit of a buffer zone. So you do want to make sure you keep as much distance as possible. Hey, nice. We unlocked the second ring for the Pyro. Sweet. Now we can really level things up for him. See how spicy he gets. Yeah, so you have your health, by the way, is the red bar at the very top. Your experience is the gold bar underneath it. To the top right, you have how much money you've made, which then goes into your account traits. Below that are the items you've picked up thus far. On the left-hand side, you can see what level you are. You can see how many enemies you've killed. You can also see your abilities and their cooldowns. Oh, here we go. Upgrade Flamethrower, a weapon of infernal mass destruction and Pyro's best friend to boot. Damage per second, 200. Magazine size, 3 seconds. Reload time, 2 seconds. Let's try this out. And then we'll see if we can go like all melee build Pyro, which could be interesting. Yeah, we just get more range and more damage than the blowtorch, which makes sense. There we go, the Infernax. A powerful melee weapon imbued with hellish flames that slashes enemies in a huge circular area on every swing. 150 damage. Attack size 0.8, reload time 4 seconds. Let's go. Oh, yeah, that's some nice range. I like that. It's a nice little, like, hey, get the fuck back. I like that. For game. Here we go. Ah, makeshift bomb. A nail-filled DIY explosive with a bedroom alarm clock set to attract the attention of the Horde. So you could kind of think of this as like decoy by Huntress, where she'll throw that little cymbal banging, clanging monkey, and that'll draw them in, and then it explodes. So we're seeing 100 damage, and we're seeing piercing 2. So I'm guessing what that means is it will explode, hit one enemy, pierce through, and penetrate them to hit another one. Then we have Firewalk. Pyro ignites his flame-resistant boots in an effort to set fire to the ground he walks on. That's also 100 damage, like the makeshift bomb. Duration is +5, cooldown 35. Let's do Firewalk. Let's check this out. Here we go. Oh, this is pretty cool. And if you can elongate duration, let's see here, no pain, no gain. You know what? Actually, we can bring in all the new items, which is great. So let's do makeshift bomb as well. And check this out. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Wow. Okay, so any of the enemies initially at the bomb blow up. And then we see those nails shooting out too, so it becomes really wide range, actually. I'm quite surprised at how much range that has. That's pretty solid. I feel like this would be a really good character to solo with, because soloing is very doable. And I think especially with this character, because you have something that can attract the zombies away from you. You can create a fire barrier with Firewalk. And you can get some range with the flamethrower. Really interesting, actually. Yeah, I feel this character is pretty versatile in a way. Again, either sticking with melee or range, but being able to do damage while running and creating a barrier around himself, having a distraction as well, with a lot of range. Like, that's pretty dope. Yeah, I feel like if you want a really mobile build, what you should probably do is go Infernax with Pyro, Firewalk, makeshift bomb, and then really just up the movement speed and the ability recharge. So that way you're constantly doing Firewalk and you're constantly throwing out makeshift bombs. I think that would be really good, actually. It'd be a very interesting build, especially for going solo. Let's do pickup. Pick up, pick. So I feel like if you want to do a running build, pick up, pick would be really handy. Picking up power-ups regenerates 50 health and instantly reloads your weapons. Having the Infernax, I think, would be really good. Having the Firewalk and makeshift bomb. Like, already working out a build in my head. Though running around with a blowtorch is pretty fun, too. Weapon cooldown, ability cooldown. So the ways to up your movement speed if you want to do a running build. Toilet paper. Even if you don't get anything for the chemical damage modifier, at least you're getting the movement speed at 5%, which is pretty solid. Otherwise, duct tape. Weapon cooldown and ability cooldown and ability duration. Yeah, let's do duct tape. You know, I might as well go for the green arrow for the SOS because I can at least release and get cash. Cash monies. Liberate. Alright, so let's go with the Infernax. Yeah, look at that reach with the Infernax at level 1. And the fact that you get 360 is so awesome. And when you have a team, honestly, something like Pyro with the Infernax mixed with the direct attack of, say, SWAT or tank, pretty nice mix. And you throw in, like, Engineer, who's going to get their electricity amplified because Pyro ups everyone's elemental damage. That's going to be pretty nasty. Potato. Hey, burger. Tastes like chicken, in case you were wondering. Okay, so toilet paper can be good for movement speed. Burger as well, because we get 5% movement speed, but we get the attack speed increase as well, which if you're going to be Pyro, you get more benefit out of than toilet paper. And then also homing pigeon is good too, because we're getting that ability cooldown for firewalk as well as for the makeshift bomb, and we're getting ability damage boosted as well. Good, so homing pigeon, toilet paper, burger for Pyro. If you're going to do like a running sort of build, we'll call it the running man. So what I'm feeling thus far with running this sort of running man build that we've just like randomly thrown together now, based on the attacks of the Infernax, I want to see the Infernax swing more. So we need a shorter weapon cooldown. Magnet range, weapon critical, ability cooldown. So ability cooldown's good, but let's see. Can we get weapon cooldown? Chemical damage, ability cooldown, weapon cooldown as well. Okay, so solar panel can benefit us quite a bit actually, because it gives us what we're looking for in both. More weapon cooldown reduction, let's go. I want to be like a weed whacker with this axe, you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like I'm seeing on the high end over 1,000 damage with the axe. Otherwise around 400, 100, 400, 400. Yeah, it seems like mid-tier damage for this axe is around 400. Low end about 100. High end over 1,000. Bonuses. Fire damage modifier, actually not bad either. Frying pan. Fire damage modifier, 20% Icon of Cinder. I'd be silly not to grab that. Oh shit, should we do it again? Hell yeah. If we can get icons more often, yeah. That's a 40% increase to all fire damage. That's worth to me. Well, we are seriously cleaning house solo, just running around. Ability cooldown reduction. Yeah, let's go with Icon of Cinder. 3 of them? Okay. Sure, I'll take 60% more fire damage to the Pyro. I can't believe this is allowed. I'll take it. Not complaining. Burn, baby, burn. You know, I would really love to see cosmetics for the characters that you could unlock over time, whether they give like special abilities or not. But it would be great to like put the Pyro into like a disco outfit, like from the 70s, and he could be the Disco Inferno. Like, how great would that be? So we killed 6,455 zombies. We dealt over 3 million damage. Weapon damage was 1.4 million. Ability damage was 1.6. What gave off the most damage here? The Infernax. Yeah, look at that. Almost 1.4 million damage. Nice. Well, that has been the 0.5 update for yet another Zombie Survivors. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully you check it out for yourself. The demo is available on Steam as well. I don't know if it does reflect perfectly this latest update, but at least you'll get a good sense of the core of the game, the sort of foundation at its current stage. But then you can also see here where it has gone and where it is going. So I really enjoyed. I think it's a lot of fun. Hopefully you'll find it fun as well. You can check it out on Steam, and more information will of course be in the description of this video, and we'll throw in a link in chat as well. But thank you very much for checking out this video. I will see you in the next one.